The Prince of Wales and the Duchess of Cornwall arrived in Newfoundland and Labrador at the beginning of their 11-day royal visit of Canada. Over the next 11 days, their Royal Highnesses will visit 11 cities and communities in 4 provinces right across Canada. Their Royal Highnesses were officially welcomed by well-wishers at the Mile One Stadium in St John's. The hour-long ceremony, shown live on Canadian TV, included a 21-gun salute, a royal inspection of the Honour Guard, speeches of welcome and musical presentations. The 3 key themes of the visit are paying tribute to the Canadian Armed Forces and their work both at home and around the world, highlighting youth opportunity and youth entrepreneurship, and highlighting environmental innovation and sustainability.
Canadians hold the royal family in deep affection and high regard, a sentiment which is clearly mutual. If you would permit me, sir, I would like to quote a speech you gave in Winnipeg 13 years ago. Quote, "Every time I come here, a little more Canada seeps into my bloodstream, and from there, straight to my heart."
We are keen to showcase the many passions that we share with your Royal Highnesses. And these include beautiful music, inspiring architecture, a deeply ingrained love of our proud history, a strong determination to safeguard our pristine natural environment, and a meaningful effort to help the most vulnerable surmount every hurdle and reach their greatest potential.
Can I just begin by saying, Prime Minister, Premier, how deeply touched my wife and I are by your most generous words of welcome to Canada, and more specifically to Newfoundland and Labrador. I cannot tell you how delighted I am to have this opportunity to pay, I can hardly believe, my 15th visit to these shores. And that is, by any measure, something rather special. But more special still, if I may say so, is the opportunity to introduce my wife to Canada for her first ever visit. Ladies and gentlemen, this country and this province are, of course, well known for the warmth and generosity of their welcome, be it for the handful of determined settlers who sailed into Cupid's Bay in the summer of 1610, and whose 400th anniversary celebrations we shall have the great pleasure of marking tomorrow. Or the thousands of immigrants from faraway lands who, over the centuries, have made Newfoundland and Labrador their home. Or, much more recently, the hundreds of stranded passengers aboard the flights diverted here on the 11th of September 2001, who found a ready welcome when the people of this province opened their homes and their hearts to complete strangers in need of comfort and shelter. These are, if I may say so, Premier, noble instincts, and ones which were, I know, replicated in other provinces of this great country. They stand as an example to the entire international community, and something of which all Canadians should be extremely proud. And I think that this has something to do with our deep respect for the strength of the Canadian character. I say this because when the international call has been sounded over the years, Canada has responded with speed, with magnanimity, and with great courage. Canadians are remembered on the Somme, at Beaumont-Hamel, Ypres, and on the towering and poignant memorial on Vimy Ridge. These acts, these universal values for which Canada stands up and is counted, have echoed right across the 20th century and into the 21st. For today, Canadian servicemen and women are serving not merely Canada's interests, but global interests in peacekeeping operations in places such as the Middle East, Lebanon, and Sudan. And ladies and gentlemen, as Colonel-in-Chief of 6 Canadian regiments and the Air Reserve, I know full well that they are serving with the greatest possible distinction in Afghanistan. Au cours de notre visite, mon épouse et moi-même attendons avec impatience l'occasion de rencontrer le plus de Canadiens et de Canadiennes que possible et de découvrir de mille et d'une façon ce que le Canada a de mieux à offrir. In a nation which enjoys such natural beauty, I am so pleased that my wife and I will also have an opportunity to learn more about how Canadians are continuing to build, in every sense, a country which is facing up to the many challenges of the modern world. Foremost amongst these, I believe, is the threat posed to all of humanity by climate change. We are at a defining moment for our civilization. Unless we can all, both individually and collectively, take the actions which we now know are necessary, the future is going to be very bleak indeed. So I am delighted that over the coming days we will be able to meet some of the Canadians who are at the forefront of developing the crucial solutions on which humanity's future depends. I'm of course speaking entirely personally here, and I do so because through the Canadian regiments and Canadian organizations with which I am closely connected, whether as Colonel-in-Chief, as President, or as patron, this country and her people are never far from my thoughts. Thank you again, Prime Minister, Premier, ladies and gentlemen, for welcoming us with such characteristic warmth and generosity.